Hi, I'm Travis, and this is How to Survival. Today I'm going to be talking about bug out bags, so stay tuned. I'm surprised how many times I mention bug out bags and people don't know what I'm talking about. A bug out bag is a bag of supplies that's designed for you to be able to grab and bug out in the event of an emergency. The contents of a bug out bag are going to vary a lot more than they would in a pocket survival kit, and it's going to depend a lot more on the type of disasters you may expect, what your plan is for those disasters, your gender, general health, physical fitness, as well as your knowledge in certain survival tactics like fire building, shelter building, wild edible and medicinal plant identification. Even your ability to trade and barter with other survivalists can affect what you decide to put in your bug out bag. But they're all specifically designed for you, your needs. The best thing you can do to customize your bug out bag for specifically your needs is to use it. Go camping with it. If you have the time and available space, try and take it out into the woods for as long a period of time as possible. Find out what you need more of and adjust accordingly. This is my bug out bag. It's 29.2 pounds. I hear a lot of things saying, oh, well, it should be a percentage of your body weight, but that depends on your physical fitness, because there's guys in the military that can carry a lot more than that percentage, and there's people I know that can't. The first items I'm going to start with are my Seas of Survival, of course. Cutting tool. I have this. It's a Gerber Prodigy I picked up at Walmart. Full tang. It's a 4.7 inch ceramic coated blade, 420 HC steel. The blade, and as well as the sheath, as you can see, is tactical black, MOLLE compatible. The only improvements I could imagine on this blade is if the handle was just a little bit bigger. I would like that, and I don't like this thing sticking into me, because even when it's in its sheath, if I've got that on a belt, it's still gonna jab into my side. But aside from those 2 points, this knife to me is beautiful, perfect. Look how thick that spine is. And I was looking for a nice, thick, straight spine for batoning, because I do a lot of batoning when I'm at my spot, and you'll see that in later videos. Just a bug out bag tip, I've seen people with something like 8 knives in their bug out bags, and they're all like huge blades, and like they're not the kind of blades you want to work wood with. Maybe they'll have like one of them will be for woodworking, one of them will be for gutting, like 5 of them will be for fighting or something crazy like that, and they have no knife sharpeners. So just a tip, throw a knife sharpener in. They're not very expensive. I've got this double-edged semi-serrated blade that's for more tactical situations, as well, of course, as a multi-tool, which there's just so much you can do with a multi-tool and all that comes on it. It is really, if you don't have a multi-tool in your bug out bag, it's not worth having. I don't depend solely on lighters for my combustion, but if I get into a survival situation, they're just so light, so easy to use, anybody can have them, and that means I can trade them for any other supplies I may need. I picked up a pencil sharpener because they're just so cheap, and I saw one guy had one in a bug out bag video because he would use it to sharpen sticks, so he'd have a nice pointy stick that he can use for an arrow or a spear, but he also could use the filings from that stick as a tinder. And I thought it was just a really good idea, and a sharpener is just too small and too cheap to not have in a bug out bag. Camp heat I picked up for $6 at Army Barracks. And then I found it at the Dollar Tree, so yeah, look around. They're supposed to stay lit for 2 hours. These, I believe, burn clean, and I don't know if the ones at the Dollar Tree do. Similar idea, but this one has a wick. It has right there written on it that it'll burn for 2 hours. I found a rotting birch tree at one point, so I grabbed some of the birch bark and emptied out this, what was this? These were fire sticks, this bag. And I put my birch bark in there. For more long-term use fire starting, I try and make every fire that I do with striker. If I fail, then I'll use the lighters. But I try the striker first for practice. And you want to stay in practice because you don't want to end up in a survival situation where maybe you slipped or lost a nail, and or maybe you broke a finger, and it's going to be a lot harder, especially if you've never practiced before. My container is stainless steel, which means I can boil water in it. However, it also has a filter. Now, I wanted both of those aspects so that I find another way to filter water, I can filter in that other method. Boil it and then drink it, making my filter last longer. For my quarters, I picked up $2 fishing line at Walmart, just because it was so cheap and it's so versatile. Looks like it also has a lure in there. I also have a ton of paracord. This is a full length of paracord I picked up at Army Barracks. I cut 1/3 off, folded the other 2/3 in half, and braided it all the way down so that I'll have a nice long length of strong cord if I need it, or a very long length of paracord, whatever suits my needs. More paracord. This is that paracord I picked up at Army Barracks that turned out to be the fire cord, and I know you couldn't see that orange stripe in the Pocket Survival Kit video. Army Barracks sells a lot of different patterns and colors of paracord. I chose black because it can blend in a winter setting if there's enough trees around, but also it blends in at night and in the woods, whereas a brighter color or any other color really wouldn't blend in as well. Now I'm going to introduce a new rule to you, because I told you about the 5 C's of survival. Now I'm going to tell you about the survival rule of 3. 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. To satisfy my first 3 minutes without air, I have some dust masks, and for less extreme cases, the almighty and super versatile bandana. To satisfy my first 3 hours needs for shelter in extreme environments, I have my foam pad, and inside there you can see a blanket coiled up in it. It's a wool blanket, apparently used by the Navy, according to the sticker that I saw at Army Barracks. I put a bag on it to keep it water resistant in an extreme environment. A Mylar sleeping bag, similar to the one seen in the Pocket Survival Kit video. A trash bag that can be used as a poncho, but I can also use this to carry things, obviously, like trash or like supplies. Keep my bug out bag waterproof if I'm crossing streams or rivers, or use it as a rain catch in environments where there isn't water available. I prefer to keep flat stuff near the back so nothing's poking into me, preferably like padding, like my next item, my tarp, camo. I also have a water bladder that holds about 1 liter of water, and I was really lucky to find this tent at Army Barracks. I know I was lucky because when I went to check out, the guy goes, "Oh, is that a tent? Wow, I don't believe they're so small and light." Yeah, this tent is like, I don't know if this is designed for bug out bags, but this is a good find. I have used this tent before, and it's very small. It sleeps 2 people very uncomfortably. To satisfy my first 3 days without water, and in my watertight bag, I have my first aid kit, and in my first aid kit, I have water purification tablets. I recently got a MOLLE compatible pouch that I'm using as a first aid kit that I haven't attached to my bug out bag yet. I have that specifically designed for this scenario that I expect by a medical professional. And something I consider a part of shelter, I have a change of clothes. It's just a camo pants and matching camo t-shirt. I didn't put socks in there, but I probably should. To satisfy my 3 weeks without food, I have some MREs. This one's chili mac and cheese. Very good, I've had it before. Not all MREs are bad. If you try the vegetable lasagna ones, you're gonna think all MREs are bad. This is very good. Beef shreds I've never had, but I've had the beef stew, and I don't want to say that it's good because I'm afraid you guys are going to go out there and buy them out and I'll never see them again, but beef stew is very good. My cookware has an assortment of pots and pans as well as cups and a Swiss Army knife spoon fork thing. I particularly like this stove because you can set it up, start a fire right in there, or I can have one of those flammable cans that you saw earlier and place that in there through this little door. And then my flame is almost completely concealed. I also have a means of catching small game with this snare that I picked up at Walmart. I saw somebody put a rat trap in their bug out bag in another video, and I thought it was just such a great idea because these things are time tested to do what they're meant to do. And I figured they're so nice and flat, why not? I also have a small fishing kit with multiple hooks, bobber, line, sinkers, and some lures. A crowbar for bashing people's brains in or getting into things like abandoned vehicles or buildings like the one behind me. One of the 5 C's of survival is candlelight. My flashlight takes AAA batteries, but I would recommend getting a flashlight that takes AA batteries because a flashlight that takes AA batteries, you can use AAA batteries with a battery hack using tinfoil, or you can get one of those wind-up crank flashlights that I hate because you have to constantly wind them up. Spare batteries. Water-resistant pad of paper so you can keep track of weather patterns or maybe growing habits or locations, make maps, take notes. There's just an endless number of things you can do with paper. And for those quiet nights, some literature. Now, when you go to arrange a bug out bag, you want to have the heaviest things at the bottom, lightest things at the top, nice flat or squishy things near your back, heavier pokey things like a shovel or an axe near the front of your backpack furthest away from your body, as well as things like the book that you saw that I have that can handle some damage. You also want to take into consideration the maneuverability and navigation through your bag. You want to have emergency easy access things like flashlights and first aid kits either near the top of your bag or on a pocket of your bag. I would recommend tying a flashlight to a paracord, so instead of grabbing your bag, you can just grab the surface of your bag, move your hand across, grab the paracord, follow it through, find the pocket, pull out the flashlight without having to look at anything for blackout situations. If you have a bug out bag, please let me know what you think of mine. Let me know about yours. I want to hear about it. Leave a comment. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And tune in next time for How to Survival.